Hey folks, I'm Rosie and I'm here to talk in detail about one of the most useful tools we can use as musicians, mental practice. There are so many times, especially as percussionists, where we can't play our instruments. Our instruments might already be on stage, they might be too noisy, we don't want to wake up our family or our housemates. So being able to practice in your mind is one of the most useful tools there are. You see it all the time. Before they do shows, performers will all wander around, mumbling to ourselves, lost in our own world, because we are going through the show in our own minds, looking at our specific bit that we need to work on. There's a few different ways of doing it. Firstly, getting a really good recording of your piece, how you want to play it. Even just listening to that means that your mind is already working through those notes. Make sure the recording is good, otherwise you'll be learning it wrong. But simply listening to your piece of music is the first way of mentally practicing. Next, you want to listen again to this piece of music, not idly or passively, but really imagine yourself playing it. If you know what the performance space will look like, visualize yourself within that. Imagine where you're going to sit, how your body is. You're not just thinking about playing the music, you are visualizing yourself doing it. With this technique, you can go all the way through your piece of music or song, getting it perfect, along with the recording. Once you know your piece of music well, you can start to listen to the recording in your mind. This is where the real nitty-gritty practice gets in. The same way that when we're playing a piece of music, we'll go through those tricky corners multiple times until they're smoothed out. You can do just the same thing in your mind. If there's a difficult passage moving this way, that way, go through it slowly in your mind so you know exactly the way your body will move. Once you have it in your mind, you can speed that up. You can run into that in the same way, starting 2 or 3 bars before. Now you know you'll be able to hit that movement perfectly. It's the same technique that athletes use. They will literally imagine the perfect takeoff. By repeating it in our minds, it goes into our muscle memory as well. Those spatial moves will be internalized without you necessarily needing to do it. Interrupted by the royal upper hand. It doesn't work if you just idly imagine it. You really have to think about the physicality of your body. It helps me sometimes to close my eyes or to gently pace around. You'll often see me before a show, pacing around, imagining certain motions. I'm thinking through the whole show, really just thinking about those tricky bits, my tricky bits. I really like to visualize the beginning of a show, walking onto the stage, playing that opening. Once I'm on the stage, I know that I'll relax, but getting that first bit sorted in my mind is so helpful. I'm not just bobbling onto the stage, I'm picturing myself walking, focused, and imagining the audience is there. And again, visualization and mental practice is so helpful. Sometimes I'll use a click or a metronome just to make sure that I'm playing at the right speeds, internalizing those different speeds. Walking or pulsing, that really helps me. So wherever you are, make sure that you find some time to run through a few bits of your piece before your show. You can do it on the tube on the way in, you can do it on the walk, but that visualization and mental practice is really going to give you the edge. So there's no excuse not to practice. It's great when you feel confident enough to be able to go through your piece of music slowly in your mind. That means you really know it and you've internalized it. Don't just sit there zoned out on your phone, really zone in and use the power of mental practice and visualization to get yourself ready for any show. You can use it for a music performance, you could use it for a speech coming up, a presentation at work, some kind of athletic event, whatever you have coming up. Make sure you utilize both physical practice and mental practice. This way you're doubling up your time to practice. I hope that's useful. I'm doing a series on performance confidence, so check out my other videos on